cards. It has been quite a while since I have last read from the monster manual, so today I thought I would read about 2 classic monsters from Dungeons and Dragons, one of which has been requested in the comments. We will start off with the infamous Mimic. Mimics are shape-shifting predators able to take on the form of inanimate objects to lure creatures to their doom. In dungeons, these cunning creatures most often take the form of doors and chests, having learned that such forms attract a steady stream of prey. Mimics can alter their outward texture to resemble wood, stone, and other basic materials, and they have evolved to assume the appearance of objects that other creatures are likely to come into contact with. A mimic in its altered form is nearly unrecognizable until potential prey blunders into its reach, whereupon the monster sprouts pseudopods and attacks. When it changes shape, a mimic excretes an adhesive that helps it seize prey and weapons that touch it. The adhesive is absorbed when the mimic assumes its amorphous form, and on parts the mimic uses to move itself. Mimics live and hunt alone, though they occasionally share their feeding grounds with other creatures. Although most mimics have only predatory intelligence, a rare few evolve greater cunning and the ability to carry on simple conversations in common or undercommon. Such mimics might allow safe passage through their domains, or provide useful information in exchange for food. Now let's have a look at the stat block. The Mimic is a medium monstrosity, a shape changer, with a neutral alignment. Its armor class is 12, and it has natural armor. It has 58 or 98 plus 18 hit points. Its speed is 50 feet. It has 17 points in strength with a modifier of +3, 12 points in dexterity with a modifier of +1, 15 points in constitution with a modifier of +2, but only 5 points in intelligence, which gives it a modifier of -3. Its wisdom score is 13 with a modifier of +1, and it has a charisma score of 8 with a modifier of -1. It gains +5 on stealth. It is immune to acid damage, and it is immune to being knocked prone. It has dark vision with a range of 60 feet and a passive perception of 11. It speaks no languages unless it is one of the rare, really smart mimics we have heard previously. Its challenge rating is a 2, and you would get 450 XP if you defeat it. Shape Changer. The mimic can use its action to polymorph into an object or back into its true amorphous form. Its statistics are the same in each form. Any equipment it is wearing or carrying isn't transformed. It reverts to its true form if it dies. Adhesive. Object form only. The mimic adheres to anything that touches it. A huge or smaller creature adhered to the mimic is also grappled by it, with an escape DC of 13. Ability checks made to escape this grapple have disadvantage. False appearance. Object form only. While the mimic remains motionless, it is indistinguishable from an ordinary object. Grappler. The mimic has advantage on attack rolls against any creature grappled by it. Actions. Pseudopod. Melee weapon attack, +5 to hit with a reach of 5 feet, one target only. On a hit, it deals 7 or 1d8 + 3 bludgeoning damage. If the mimic is in object form, the target is subjected to its adhesive trait. Bite. Melee weapon attack, +5 to hit with a reach of 5 feet, one target only. On a hit, it deals 7 or 1d8 + 3 piercing damage, +4 or 1d8 acid damage. And at the bottom of the page there's a cute little comment that says, "Sometimes a chest is just a chest, but don't bet on it." If that isn't any DM ever. I am surprised that I haven't put a mimic in my campaign yet. I have an idea. Moving on to the next monster for today, the Mind Flayer. Mind Flayers are also called illithids. They are the scourge of sentient creatures across countless worlds. Psionic tyrants, slavers, and interdimensional voyagers, they are insidious masterminds that harvest entire races for their own twisted ends. 4 tentacles snake from their octopus-like heads, flexing in hungry anticipation when sentient creatures come near. In eons past, illithids controlled empires that spanned many worlds. They subjugated and consequently warped whole races of humanoid slaves, including the Githyanki and Githzerai, the Grimlocks, and the Kuatoa. Conjoined by a collective consciousness, the illithids hatch plots as far-reaching and evil as their fathomless minds can conceive. Since the fall of their empires, illithid collectives on the material plane have resided in the Underdark. Psionic commanders. Mind Flayers possess psionic powers that enable them to control the minds of creatures such as troglodytes, grimlocks, quaggoths, and ogres. Illithids prefer to communicate via telepathy and use their telepathy when issuing commands to their thralls. When a Mind Flayer meets strong resistance, it avoids initial combat as it orders its thralls to attack. Like physical extensions of its swords, these thralls interpose themselves between the Mind Flayer and its foes, sacrificing their lives so that their master can escape. Hive mind colonies. Solitary Mind Flayers are likely rogues and outcasts. Most of them belong to a colony of sibling Mind Flayers, devoted to an elder brain, a massive brain-like being that resides in a briny pool near the center of a Mind Flayer community. From its pool, an elder brain telepathically dictates its desires to each individual Mind Flayer within 5 miles of it, for it is able to hold multiple mental conversations at once. Hunger of the mind. Mind Flayer subsists on the brains of humanoids. The brains provide enzymes, hormones, and psychic energy necessary for their survival. A Mind Flayer, healthy from a brain-rich diet, secretes a thin glaze of mucus that coats its morph skin. An illicit experiences euphoria as it devours the brain of a humanoid, along with its memories, personality, and innermost fears. Mind Flayers will sometimes harvest brain rather than devour it, using it as part of some alien experiment or transforming it into an intellect devourer. Moving on to the stat block. A Mind Flayer is a medium aberration with a lawful evil alignment. Its armor class is 15 with a breastplate. It has 71 or 13d8 plus 13 hit points, and its speed is 30 feet. Its strength score is 11 with a modifier of 0. It has 12 points in dexterity with a modifier of +1. It has a constitution score of 12 with a modifier of +1. It has 19 points in intelligence with a modifier of +4. Its wisdom and charisma score are both 17 with a modifier of +3. It has +7 on intelligence saving throws, +6 on wisdom saving throws, and +6 on charisma saving throws. Skills. Arcana +7, Deception +6, Insight +6, Perception +6, Persuasion +6, and Stealth +4. It has dark vision with a range of 120 feet and a passive perception of 16. Its language skills include deep speech and undercommon, and telepathy with a range of 120 feet. The challenge rating for a Mind Flayer is a 7, which equals 2,900 experience points. Magic resistance. The Mind Flayer has advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects. Innate spellcasting. Psionics. The Mind Flayer's innate spellcasting ability is intelligence with a spell save DC of 15. It can innately cast the following spells requiring no components: at will, detect thoughts, and levitate, and once per day each dominate monster and plane shift, which it only can cast on itself. Actions: Tentacles, melee weapon attack, +7 to hit with a reach of 5 feet, one creature only. On a hit, it deals 15 or 2d10 plus 4 psychic damage. If the target is medium or smaller, it is grappled with an escape DC of 15 and must succeed on a DC 15 intelligence saving throw or be stunned until this grapple ends. Extract brain. Melee weapon attack. +7 to hit with a reach of 5 feet. One incapacitated humanoid grappled by the Mind Flayer. That's the only target available. The target takes 55 or 10d10 piercing damage. That is a lot of d10s. Wow. If this damage reduces the target to 0 hit points, the Mind Flayer kills the target by extracting and devouring its brain. Gross. Mind Blast. Recharge 5 to 6. The Mind Flayer magically emits psychic energy in a 60-foot cone. Each creature in that area must succeed on a DC 15 intelligence saving throw or take 22 or 4d8 plus 4 psychic damage and be stunned for 1 minute. A creature can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself on a success. Now here's another small stat block. For a variant, the Mind Flayer Arcanists. A few Mind Flayers supplement their psionic power with arcane spells. However, they are regarded as deviants by their illithid peers and usually shunned. A Mind Flayer Arcanist has a challenge rating of 8 and the following trait. Spellcasting. The Mind Flayer is a 10th level spellcaster. Its spellcasting ability is Intelligence. Save DC 15 +7 to hit with spell attacks. The Mind Flayer has the following wizard spells prepared. Cantrips at will. Blade Ward, Dancing Lights, Mage Hand, and Shocking Grasp. First level 4 slots. Detect Magic, Disguise Self, Shield, and Sleep. Second level with 3 slots. Blur, Invisibility, Ray of Enfeeblement. Third level, also 3 slots. Clairvoyance, Lightning Bolt, and Sending. 4th level, again with 3 slots, confusion, and hallucinatory terrain. 5th level with 2 slots, telekinesis and wall of force. So much for the mind flayer. I apologize for the fly buzzing past me in the last couple of minutes. It's still boiling hot where I live, so I keep my windows open at night as long as possible, and I was sure all the flies had settled down, but I was wrong. I'm sorry. Anyway, I hoped you enjoyed this. I hope you found it relaxing, and I am very much looking forward to reading your comments. It's really nice that so many of you leave comments and suggestions. I also can't believe I recently passed the 100 subscriber mark. This is amazing, and I really don't know what to say about that, except thank you. Thank you very much for taking the time to listening to me when I ramble about Dungeons and Dragons. This is such a weird thing to say. So, I'm looking forward to reading to you again. Until then, have a great day or a great night, and see you again next time. Bye bye, fellow nerds.